use that same logic for the Bible.
It's what you've been using. That's been your logic. Don't you get it? Hold on, no, because this is getting away from what we're talking about.
My fault. Okay.
So why would you disagree that I have the teachings of Jesus? Why would you disagree with that?
Just because, I was born Muslim, and the Quran says that, Allah, do not say Allah was beget or begotten.
What does that have to do with the gospel? The Quran is not the gospel. How do you know that I do not have the gospel that Jesus was preaching?
In the gospel, does it not say that, Jesus is God?
Yeah.
So, just in the Quran that I read, it would say something different.
Brother, I'm asking you to think again.
Yes.
Think.
I'm thinking.
How do you know that what I have is not what Jesus was preaching? The Quran comes 600 years after Jesus. It's not an authority on what Jesus said. Mm-hmm. How do you know that what I have is not what Jesus was preaching?
I mean, but if you're saying that I can't use the Quran as my source, I would say that's not really fair, because that is my source.
You know what? You're right. That's perfectly fine. You know what? Actually, you don't have what Muhammad was actually preaching. You don't.
What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
You don't have what Muhammad was going around reciting. The Quran that you have is not the same Quran that Muhammad was going around reciting.
If I'm not mistaken, don't they have like a Quran? I forgot in what country that like dates to like right around the time Muhammad was alive.
No, it's not a Quran. It's not a Quran. It's only a couple of pages.
Okay, so what Quran would you say we're reciting?
A false Quran. I think that probably Uthman made up or something.
And where do you get that from?
Well, I see that the Quran teaches that Allah doesn't beget, but the Bible says that the Father beget his Son and sent him into the world. So I know that that's not the Quran that Muhammad was reciting, because Muhammad would have been preaching a message that lines up with the Bible.
And can you prove to me that the Quran is false? That this is
not the Quran? Yeah, because the Quran says that Allah doesn't beget. It says Jesus is not the Son of God. The Bible says that Jesus is the Son of God and that the Father does beget. So that's how I know that the Quran is false. The Quran never really said Allah doesn't beget.
So, but then I could use that same logic with the Bible, then, no, couldn't I?
But what I'm bewildered by is that you said it as if you didn't get what you just said.
What do you mean?
You just said that you can just use that same logic with the Bible, then, can't you?
Because
that shows that you don't even know what just happened.
No, because you just told me that you don't believe in the Quran because of what it said, and I said, can I not use that same logic for the Bible?
It's what you've been using. That's been your logic. Don't you get it? You've been saying that. That's been your point. I just reversed it on you, and you don't even know that I did it.
And I'm saying,
you didn't think that my point was good because you're asking for proof. And if my proof is, well, it doesn't agree with the Bible, so I know the Quran never really said that. It couldn't have said it. It disagrees with the Bible. You didn't take that as proof. You didn't think that was a sufficient answer. But that's the logic you're using, and you don't even get it.
I'm using logic based on the Quran because it's what I know.